Okay, welcome to the Cyber Chronicles. My name is Brian Stevenson. This video log is the top 5 most shared, discussed articles on cybersecurity in the internet via Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and all those different social media forums. Each week we discuss the top 5 and put our opinion on it. This week's going to be another great show. Thanks for watching. Okay, we are rolling with the 5th most popular article of the week. If you can notice, our backdrop has changed. Just for some lighting reasons, I put a trade show thing that we used to use up on a booth up on the windows to get the lighting a little bit better. And you can see we've got this huge blank wall. I can't go left and right. Blank wall. That's for a sponsor. Only $100,000 a week, and you can have that wall with your name on it. So give us a call. Let us know. We'd love to have you as a sponsor. That being said, the 5th most popular article of the week, Mr. Krebs again, investigative reporting. He found out that Tripwire is a great company. Craig Young, a researcher with Tripwire, found that authentication weakness that lends credibility to incredibly accurate locations via your Google Home and Chromecast that allows you to stream, obviously, TV shows. What's amazing about this is everybody knows any website that you go to, they keep your IP address, your internet protocol of all your visitors and everything else. It's pretty generic. Gives you a general sense of their geolocation, meaning the state. Sometimes within a couple miles it'll show you where they are. But this is using Google's geolocation data, which is completely different. So with this hack, like a phishing attack, malicious advertising, or a tweet that you click on and get connected to the network for about a minute, it's going to show you the exact geolocation from Google, and that is within meters of your location. So obviously this could be used for, extortion, scare the heck out of you, say, I know exactly where you live, I know exactly your location at any one time. And interestingly enough, when Craig Young announced this security gap to Google, they closed the bugs report with status won't fix intended behavior. That was their intended behavior, is to allow people to actually get in and see my exact location. Well, anyway, after Mr. Krebs, the man on the moon, contacted them, they are opening it back up and have addressed the fact that they plan on fixing this security gap. So, tip of the hat to Mr. Krebs, once again finding something that's been out there and getting some of our major manufacturers to take action on a pretty scary security gap. Okay, we're up to number 4. Number 4. The latest hacking news. This hit our top 5. The first time that this happened. Interesting website, talks a lot about the latest hacking news. Another vulnerability in Intel's CPUs. Dubbed the lazy FP state restore. If you don't know what that is, by default, there's a restore setting that occurs to hold your applications in the processor for at some point, at a later point, they can again then switch back to the processes. Intel's official statement: lazy restore states are potentially vulnerable for exploits where one process may interfere with register values of the processes through speculative execution. They assign a CVE to it, 3665. It's very similar to the Meltdown variant 3A, if you're familiar with that. But for now, Intel recommends is using Eager FPU over the lazy restore. The only challenge with that is Microsoft confirmed that the lazy restore is in active in all Windows versions by default. So there is no way to disable this feature. However, it does not affect AMD processors, just Intel processors. Also, Azure are secure from this bug, and if you're using Linux, you should be unaffected. But for a lot of us, this is a vulnerability that is still wide open. Thank you, Intel. Okay, we're up to number 3, the Hacker News. Again, this is something I subscribe to. I read every day. One of the better periodicals out on the web. They always seem to have some very interesting news that comes out. Google researchers this time developed a critical bug in modern web browsers. Most web browsers don't allow what we call cross-origin requests from different domains. For obvious reasons, that can allow you to be compromised. But what this researcher found is you can do that with media files hosted on other origins, allowing the website that you visit to load a video or audio file from a different origin without any restrictions. And this allows, it'd have to be pretty sophisticated, but a sophisticated attack vector that potentially could be manipulated for a breach. The bypass features. There's this is just an interesting, very technical compromise that could happen. It's interesting though on web browsers, on websites, the lack of care that a lot of companies do on their website. Mozilla has a great website to check out your security of websites you go to. Observatory.mozilla.com, and you'll find that the vast majority, 80-90% of websites allow quite a bit of security risk, including security companies, which is okay. Don't secure your own website for your clients. But we'll have that in our link in the bottom of the page here, so you get a chance to check that out and check out your own company, see how you guys are doing. So interesting article. Okay, the second most shared article or read article or talked about article on cybersecurity last week was something that we normally don't talk about, political stuff. We don't take a stance one way or another. We are all about cybersecurity and protecting the interests of the United States, regardless of which party that you belong to. This article, a little upsetting, a little disturbing. Obama cybersecurity coordinator confirmed that Susan Rice ordered him to stand down on the Russian meddling of the election. And it comes from the Washington Examiner, so take it with a grain of salt. I don't know this organization. I am assuming they're legitimate. But, it's on the internet. It's been the most shared. So Daniels was a special assistant, told members in a Senate Intelligence Committee that he was told to stand down on any attempts to stop the Russians' influence on the election and to remain silent on the issue. I'm just going to state the facts, the article. I'm not going to give my opinion on this. That you guys digest it, make your own decision on if that was a good decision or not. But as always, before we get to our number 1 most shared article of the week, we would like to thank Focus Point Technologies for being our sponsor. And here's a little message from Focus Point. Please listen.
This episode of the Cyber Chronicle is brought to you by Focus Point Technologies, a Minnesota-based woman-owned cybersecurity solutions provider. Founded on the belief that the market is vastly underserved, we are putting the value back in VAR. Please call us at 651-330-5521 or find us on the World Wide Web at www.focuspointtechnologies.com.
And now to our number 1 article, which I've done this before, but I'm still learning how to do all this technical stuff. These broadcasts, webcasts, these programs are frickin' complicated, my friends. I thought I recorded it and then deleted it. Anyway, the number 1 article, it was an interesting one about Elon Musk, probably the Tesla of our generation, right? Kind of ironic, Tesla. But he sent out an email that he had an employee in the ranks that was sabotaging a lot of what they're trying to do, including extensive damage to this, changing to the code to the internal product and exporting the data to outsiders. He sent an email out to all of his employees because they have a goal of reaching 5,000 Model 3s per week by the end of June. And they already had a 9% reduction in workforce, so they're going through some challenges right now. But his alluded to in his email, as you know, there's a long list of organizations that want Tesla to die. This includes Wall Street short sellers who already lost billions of dollars and stand to lose more. And there's oil and gas companies, the wealthiest industry of the world, and they don't like the idea of Tesla advancing the progress of solar power and electric cars. So internal employee did some bad stuff. My guess is they have quite a few forensic experts going through their network right now, and they will find this person and prosecute this person, and hopefully it won't lead to corporate espionage. But that's what it appears to be. So that was the number one article shared this week. Again, thank you for watching the Cyber Chronicles.